Why should I waste good food on a mere servant? You don't deserve this.
If I've wronged you, let me know. But remember, kindness can reveal more than you think.
Kindness? We'll see if that helps you survive here.
It was raining heavily in the kingdom of Marwa the night Prince Junaid packed a few of his belongings from his royal chamber and set out for the unknown land. His mother, Queen Leela, wept as she watched her son leave in the dead of night. A week earlier, the priest Elimu had told the king and queen that the oracle stated their son must leave his title, wealth, and influence to find a suitable wife far from his father's kingdom. In Marwa, whatever the oracle says is law, and this was no exception. So Prince Junaid began his journey as a commoner in search of a wife. Prince Junaid had been traveling for several days, his feet sore and his stomach empty. Finally, after days of trekking, he arrived at a bustling village market. The air was filled with the aroma of spices and the sounds of vendors selling their goods. Junaid walked through the market, taking in the sights and sounds, feeling both excited and nervous as a stranger in a new village. Junaid knew he needed to find work to survive. He saw a group of villagers gathered around a cassava flake seller, watching as the workers packed cassava flakes into sacks. Junaid approached one of the workers, a kind young man named Bayo, and inquired about a job. Bayo took pity on the weary prince and led him to the owner of the cassava business, a stern woman in her 50s named Mama Kemi. "My name is Jamal," Junaid lied. "I am a traveler from a distant village in need of work. I am willing to do anything to earn my keep." Mama Kemi eyed him with suspicion. "And what makes you think you're capable of working in my cassava factory?" she asked, her tone challenging. Junaid straightened up. "I am not lazy, and I learn fast. I promise I will work hard and do whatever you need," he replied. Mama Kemi studied Junaid for a moment before nodding. "Very well, young man. I will give you a chance. But be warned, the work is hard, and the days are long. You must prove yourself if you wish to stay." Junaid thanked her profusely and started working immediately. He threw himself into his tasks with vigor, lifting sacks of cassava, grinding them into flakes, and helping to package the cassava for sale. His hands blistered and his muscles ached, but he pushed through the pain, determined to show Mama Kemi he was capable of hard work. Mama Kemi had 3 children, Kaya, Simi, and Rina. Kaya and Simi, because of their mother's wealth, saw everyone as inferior and treated the workers like slaves. They mingled only with the rich villagers. Rina, however, was different. She was compassionate and valued everyone regardless of their class. Mama Kemi tried to change Kaya and Simi's ways, but her efforts were in vain. Weeks turned into months, and Junaid became a valued member of Mama Kemi's factory. The other workers respected him for his dedication and humility, and Mama Kemi began to treat him more like a son than an employee. She always served her workers food every afternoon, and one of her daughters, Simi, was in charge of food distribution. One afternoon, Mama Kemi gave Simi special instructions to serve Junaid twice the usual portion because she was impressed with his diligence. This made Simi very angry, and she decided not to give Junaid any food at all. Junaid watched as others received their portions of pounded yam and vegetable soup with goat meat. When it was his turn, Simi lied and said her mother had warned her not to serve him any food. Junaid wondered how he might have wronged Mama Kemi, but he couldn't think of anything. Rina, who saw everything, asked her sister Simi about their mother's instruction. Instead of answering, Simi pushed Rina and told her to mind her business. Rina, suspicious, decided to ask their mother directly. She rushed to Mama Kemi's room, her heart pounding with anger and confusion. "Mother, did you really instruct Simi not to serve Junaid any food?" Rena demanded. Mama Kemi looked up, surprised. No, of course not. Why would I give such a cruel instruction? She replied, frowning. Rena let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. I couldn't believe you would do something like that, she said. Just then, Simi entered the room, her expression guilty. Mama Kemi turned to her daughter, her voice stern. Is it true you denied Junaid food? Simi hesitated. Yes, mother, I did, she admitted in a whisper. Mama Kemi's face darkened with anger. Why would you do such a thing? What has Junaid ever done to deserve such treatment? Simi shifted uncomfortably. I couldn't understand why you always seem to favor him over the other workers. He's just a servant, yet you treat him like family, she explained. Mama Kemi's eyes widened. You think I favor Junaid? That's absurd. I treat him with kindness and respect because he's a good worker and a decent human being. I expect the same from all of you, she stated firmly. But mother, you instructed me to serve him double the portion of food, Simi argued. Mama Kemi shook her head. Kindness and compassion are never wrong. You must apologize to Junaid and make amends immediately. Simi refused, saying she could never apologize to a mere servant, and stormed out of the room. She sought solace in her brother Kaya, hoping he would understand her resentment. Kaya listened intently and vowed they wouldn't let Junaid get away with what they perceived as preferential treatment. Together, they plotted to make Junaid's life a living hell, relishing the power they held over him. Junaid, kind and hard-working, bore their cruelty with dignity and grace. He never complained or retaliated, focusing on his work. This only fueled Kaya and Simi's determination to make him suffer. Kaya assigned him a larger portion of the farm to harvest, a deliberate attempt to wear him down. Simi, in turn, gave him very small portions of food. Despite their cruelty, Junaid remained focused on his mission to find a wife, as directed by the oracle. Amidst the cruelty, Rena was a ray of hope. She would often sneak over to Junaid's place after dark, bringing him extra food and massaging his aching back with soothing shea butter. Her kindness gave Junaid the strength to carry on. As the days passed, Rena and Junaid grew closer. They would meet in secret, sharing meals and deep conversations. One night, Rena asked Junaid about his past. He hesitated, unsure of how to answer. I can't tell you, he finally said, avoiding her gaze. Rena sensed his hesitation and didn't push further, knowing he would share when he was ready. Their bond grew stronger, and they often stole moments together, careful to avoid detection by Rena's siblings. They couldn't deny their growing feelings for each other. Rena saw the goodness in Junaid, while he found solace in her presence. One day, Rena and Junaid went into the forest to pick fruit. The sun was shining brightly, casting a warm glow over the vibrant foliage. Rena's laughter filled the air as she plucked ripe fruits. Suddenly, the sky darkened, and ominous clouds loomed overhead. The rain will fall soon, Rena, Junaid warned. We should head back. His words were cut short by heavy drops of rain. Junaid scrambled to find large leaves for shelter. I'll find bigger leaves, he shouted over the roar of the wind, rushing into the undergrowth. A sudden animalistic sound roared through the air. Rena froze, her heart pounding. In the dim light, she saw a large boar moving towards her. Panicked, she ran, stumbling over roots and slipping in the mud. She fell down a steep slope, and everything went black. Junaid, hearing Rena's frantic cries, ran towards the sound. He reached the spot where he had left her, but she was gone. He searched for hours, calling her name, his voice cracking. He found footprints leading into the dense undergrowth, but lost them in the rain-soaked earth. Meanwhile, back in the village, Simi and Kaya realized Rina was missing. They assembled a search party and went into the forest. The rain had stopped, but the forest was drenched. As they searched, Mama Kemi returned home and learned from Simi that Junaid had taken Rina into the forest and hadn't returned. Mama Kemi sat in her room, her mind swirling with confusion and worry. She trusted Junaid, but now her daughter was missing, and the only person to blame was him. How could this be possible? In the forest, Junaid continued his search for Rina. The darkness enveloped him, his heart pounding with fear. He couldn't bear the thought of losing Rina. After hours of searching, he finally found her unconscious on the forest floor. He scooped her up and carried her to safety. As Junaid trudged through the forest, his mind raced with guilt and regret. How could he have failed to protect Rina? Just when he thought he couldn't bear the burden any longer, he saw Kaya and the guards. Relief flooded through him. Kaya, furious, ordered a guard to take Rina from Junaid's arms. Junaid watched helplessly as she was carried away. Kaya then punched Junaid, sending him sprawling to the ground. He warned Junaid to stay away from his family, promising worse if he ever returned. The next day, Junaid snuck into the village to check on Rina. A maid told him she had regained consciousness, but was resting. Relieved, Junaid decided it was time to return to his father's kingdom. He felt he had already found what he was looking for. After resting and recovering, Rina asked her mother about Junaid. Mama Kemi told her Junaid had abandoned her in the forest, according to Kaya. Rina couldn't believe it. She searched for Junaid but couldn't find him. The villagers gossiped about his betrayal, but Rina remained determined to uncover the truth. One afternoon, the villagers were curious as 15 royal guards escorted a cart into the village. They stopped in front of Mama Kemi's compound. Mama Kemi and Rina went to see who the visitor was, and to their surprise, it was Junaid, dressed in expensive garments. Just as Rina was about to speak, Kaya emerged, furious. He accused Junaid of being a thief and humiliated him by pouring red oil over his head. The royal guards grabbed Kaya, but Junaid ordered them to stop. He then revealed his true identity as Prince Junaid and explained his mission to find a wife. Mama Kemi, Rina, and Kaya were shocked. Junaid apologized for deceiving them and expressed his love for Rina. He signaled to a guard, who presented the royal staff, confirming his identity. The villagers knelt before the staff, acknowledging Junaid as the prince. Rina, surprised and hurt, asked Junaid why he abandoned her. Junaid explained he had been threatened by Kaya. Kaya confessed, and Rina forgave Junaid. The prince then presented gifts from his kingdom as a sign of respect. "You showed me kindness when I had nothing. You shielded me from cruelty. How can I not love you, Rina?" Prince Junaid said. They embraced, and the villagers celebrated their union. Thank you for watching. More interesting stories are on the way, so make sure to subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. I would love to hear your thoughts in comments below.